Hey you guys, love you guys. It's Jonathan and welcome to my channel. Welcome to my video. Kind of nervous for this one, but you know what? We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna try it out, see what happens. And you know what? I have no idea. But welcome everybody. Welcome to my very first video on my channel, on my new channel. Wow, it's a lot. So bear with me throughout this. I am very nervous, but yeah, we're just gonna give it a try and we're gonna see what happens. Before I introduce myself and what me is, what I do, what this channel is all about, let me talk about this build. We're building a dog rehabilitation center, which is sort of a veterinarian combined with a lot of facilities to help rehabilitate dogs that have been in the army or with police or that have been in an accident or in a surgery. So yeah, that's a little bit what we're making. It's a two-part build because it's a lot of footage, and but I really wanted this to be my first video because I love the build. It says a lot about me and who I am as a builder in The Sims. So yeah, I really hope you're gonna love it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please be kind, but do let me know what you think because that's really important to me. It's really important to hear what you guys think of it, how you feel about my videos, about my building style. If you have any tips for me, feedback. As I said, this is all very new for me. I have had zero practice in this, so I'm just doing what I think works, and please let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. But yeah, so we're working on the exterior, and while we're doing that, let me talk a little bit about myself. My name is Jonathan. I am 25. I live in the Netherlands. Go Holland, woo! And I love simulation games. I love design and that sort of stuff. During the day, I am a teacher. That's my regular job. I work 5 days a week as a teacher. My students are between the age of 13 and 16-ish. And I teach them all sorts of things around computers, programming, robotics, a little bit of cooking, and health is in there as well. So it's a lot. And one of the things I teach them is design and working with design, working with typography. That's a difficult word for me. And that is also a big hobby of mine, working with design. And in simulation games, I can sort of combine that love and passion for design with my love for realism and building just awesome stuff. As a kid, I got from my parents Roller Coaster Tycoon, which I could play on the computer at my uncle's house because our computer at home could not play the game. But that game just got me hooked. It was such an amazing game. I love Disney. I love everything about theme parks. So that game was my life. And after that, I started playing The Sims, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I skipped The Sims 2, but I did play a lot of Sims 3 and now Sims 4. And yeah, I've always been playing sort of for myself. I've joined Discords in my time. I've play stuff on Reddit. I still do that. I still play stuff on Reddit. and I love getting the comments there and the feedback, which is like 99% positivity, and just, that's what I love about sharing my work and talking about my work, because for me these builds are not just a build, they're a whole story, and everything that I build is with a reason. There's a backstory to it, and that's what I love sharing, and that's sort of the main reason why my friends sort of pushed me into doing this, sharing my work on YouTube. But yeah, so I hope you're loving what I'm doing, um, and yeah, please let me know. I'm also on Instagram. That's where I share a lot of my screenshots of all games that I play. Besides The Sims, I love playing Parkitect, which to me feels like the true successor of Roller Coaster Tycoon. And I love Planet Coaster, but my computer is not that strong to play that game extensively, so I'm not playing that game a lot. But yeah, those are videos that I'm willing, or that I'm trying to make and bring on this channel. But yeah, that's a lot about me. Let's get back to the build, my darlings. So this is the exterior that we're making. I love these green windows. They remind me of a New York that you see in the movies. It just gives me that vibe, and I love it. I'm here for it. And these green accents everywhere. First of all, I've got in my apartment, I've got a huge wall. It's just one of the 4 walls in my living room. That's sort of this mint green color. It's very similar to the greenish of the pillars in the game, and it looks so gorgeous. Um, so yeah, I wanted to bring those accents into this build. A lot of flower boxes, a lot of pillars. I just feel like that really brings the outside together. Um, so when I'm building, I usually build by creating the outside look first before I go in. And that's mostly because building the outside for me is easier, because you go with a few windows, a few doors, a few colors, and you just slap it on the whole build. And that really gives me a direction of where I want to go with the rest of the build, the interiors. So that's what I'm doing here as well. And in this video, this first part, we're getting a couple of the rooms done. In the second part, we are finishing off the interiors and a little bit of exterior of the garden, the yard. But yeah, I love these paws, these pink paws that I put on the windows. To me, it's really cool that The Sims is bringing more and more of these little things to the game, like, branding, to sort of brand your, in this case, our rehabilitation center. But yeah, we're slapping them on all the windows so that people walking by from all sides know what is going on here. And it also just, I don't know, it just creates this adorable little vibe, and I love it. I truly do. But yeah, the build is in my thought, this is a rehabilitation center that sort of got started by this woman who is a veterinarian. She was working at a vet clinic somewhere else, and she was working for a boss who didn't really have the best interest with the pets, with the animals, but was more in it for the money. And she was like, nope, not having that. So she went to business school, and she got a degree, and she started her own veterinarian place, and that's this place, which I think started relatively small. Like maybe she had one other employee, so they were just with the two of them, and over time they grew and got bigger and bigger and bigger. And like now it's this big veterinarian center, but it's so much more, because I feel like now they also do these rehabilitation tracks where animals, and mostly dogs, you know, who've been in the army or who've been with the police, or maybe who've had surgery, who had an accident that had surgery, and they need to rehabilitate. They can come here, they can have the surgery, and then they can have the training here as well. So yeah, I really like this idea for the build. It's basically a vet clinic, but then just a little bit different. I really like that idea. So I'm putting a green wall here. I love this. If I have a chance to slap on some green, I'll do it. So yeah, I also love the fact that some of the green is sort of like going over the window. I think that's it just gives so much aesthetic, and it looks so adorable. So yes, I'm here for that. Going with some doors. I wanted to have that rustic feel. I hate it if it looks too clinical, so I really wanted to avoid that. You're gonna see it when we're building the rooms. It looks like a vet clinic, but then again, it also doesn't, in a way that it looks very comfortable, very still clean and professional, but not clinical. And I thought that was important. So here we got the yard, which has some pens for dogs that, you know, need to go outside or need to have a timeout. I don't know. And then also a yard that I'm going to create a little track on for them to train. But we're gonna do that in the second video, not in this one. You saw me struggling there with the here again with the half tiles. The Sims, I love the game, but I have it with all games. I'm terrible at shortcuts. Learning shortcuts on the keyboard, I just simply cannot. So yeah. Here I'm creating some detail with the floor paint, and to me these are the details that bring the builds to life. So around the hedges some dirt, and around the building some I would guess some foundation. And I used a different paint on the sort of the old structure, which is this, and then that new box, that stone box, that in the lore of this build got added on at a later date. Going for the flooring inside, just some nice wood, because who doesn't love wood? And then I'm going to start on the 3 rooms for the veterinarians. And we're going to start off with picking a door. I first wanted to go with a more clinical door, as you can see, something that feels more hospital-like, I almost would say. But eventually I went with a little bit of a rustic look, because they have a door for vet clinics. I had no idea, but it exists in the game. By the way, that is something that always surprises me when I watch YouTubers playing this game, and they're building or they're going through the catalog. They just know all the pieces, they know where to find it, they know from which pack it is, they know which swatches it has, and God, I barely remember where I left my glasses in the morning. That's how terrible I am with these kind of things. So remembering what type of flowers we have, of what type of doors we have in this game, I just cannot. bring myself to learn that stuff and remember it. So yeah, there's a lot of going through the catalog. There's a lot of times where I have cut the footage a bit to um, because otherwise you would just see me scrolling through the catalog for like half an hour. But yeah, so we got these doors. That's the whole point. We got these doors. That's the point. And I also wanted to have these windows so that you can look into the rooms, so that the hallway doesn't look that boring. I first went with these ones, but they looked a little bit. They looked a little bit eh. So I went with these ones, and they're cute. I like them. I had to change the outside a bit to make it more fitting. But yeah, I like this idea that there's these windows, and it sort of breaks up this boring long hallway. And on the inside, all three rooms have their own unique style. The furnishing of the rooms is kind of the same, so I'm going to show you only one room that I really furnish. Um, and But all three rooms do have their sort of unique little details. So in my idea, all three rooms belong to a different vet. Um, I wanted to say vet person, to a different doctor, and they all have their sort of unique styles. For instance, one person has like his certificates on the wall, the other one has pictures of his family, and the third one has drawings that I would imagine are from his daughter on the wall. So I think those are like cute little details. The inside of the rooms are mostly the same, so I wanted them to have this workstation where they can check up on the animals. And the workstation needed to be clean, so I used a different flooring that's easy to scrub and to disinfect, and this workstation where they can have all of their materials in. I also wanted to use these posters that came with the pack. I have no idea what pack it is. The cats, dogs and pet stuff. Like I have no idea. Don't ask me those things. But yeah, here you can see this person has like a calendar and some certificates. So yeah, I thought those like cute little details. And all three rooms have their own color palette in the designs on the wall, and you're gonna see that later in the chairs as well. It's a little bit busy, the wall patterns, but I do love them. And on the side of the workstation, here you can see it, I'm putting some tiles, so it breaks up that pattern a little bit and makes it a little bit more calm in the room. But I love the designs. Here you can see the chairs. I love these chairs. And you know, when you go with your pet, with your dog to the veterinarian, usually the dog goes on the table and you either stand by it or you sit down or something like that. So I wanted to put it in. All three also have a desk with a computer, where they can, you know, like put in the appointments and the files. And near the desks, I also put an extra little chair for people to sit down if they're talking. But yeah, those are the three rooms. They're pretty much done now. And yeah, I really like them. They're a little bit different than a standard room, I would imagine, or at least the vets that I've been to. But I love this design, and I love this aesthetic. To me, it still gives me professional. It gives me clean, taken care of, but it also gives me like a homey vibe, and it just, I don't know, I like it. Just some clutter everywhere, and again, I try to make each room a little bit different For instance, one vet wants to have more files in his room and has a bigger cabinet, and the other one just has like a small little drawer thing because he does everything on the computer. I thought those like little details are really fun. And then a bunch of plants. I love plants. I love adding plants. And trust me, in my build, I'm going to talk a lot about plants because I love them. In my apartment, I think like, I don't know, in my living room, I'm counting now. It's at least 6-7 plants, and I got this huge big plant. I love it. It's giving me life. It's giving me all sorts of feelings, honey. But yeah, I love plants. That's the whole point I wanted to make. But yeah, plants. Some curtains as well. For when they're doing some checkups that are a little bit more private, you want to be able to close those curtains. So yeah, those are the 3 rooms for the veterinarians, and I think they really worked. And to be honest, those to me are really a highlight of the build. When I look back on every build I make, I'm often quite critical of myself. But then again, there are always these little things that pop out to me that I'm like, yes, that was really something that worked. And to me, these rooms really worked. Going on to one of the rooms I really struggled with, and that's the surgery room. I wanted to build this big surgery room, but surgery on pets is done in this weird looking machine that to me belongs in a factory. It looks like something that I don't know, produces soda bottles. I have no idea. It just doesn't look like a surgery equipment thing. But I understand why they did it, because of the graphics, and you don't want to see surgery on a dog done on a table. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look good. But we make the best of it. I'm building here a little room that is sort of like I don't know how they call it in a hospital, but sort of the disinfection room, where you step in, you clean your hands, you disinfect, you put on your scrubs. I put some lockers in here, so you put on your scrubs, you put on your face mask and whatnot, and then you go into the surgery room to have the surgery. And in the surgery room, I just try to clutter it up with some stuff to make it look semi-surgery-ish. I don't know. This was a difficult one for me. But yeah. In the end, when you look at it from above, and that's what I usually do, it looks cool. It looks like it's some sort of a medical room, and that's what I like. Then we're moving on to the reception area, and the reception area is the last thing we're building in this video. The rest of the build is done in the second part. But the reception area I love it, but in the beginning it was too big. So you're gonna see me making the room a little bit smaller, but the idea was to have this big desk in the middle, where you sort of come in, you check in here, and they say, like, wait in the you can sit down and wait, and the doctor will call you in, or the vet will call you in. But because it's a rehabilitation center, and we also have a pool for the dogs, and a area in the backyard as well, I imagine like there would be a little bit more seating options. So that's something that I wanted to keep in mind building this reception area. But yeah, I love these paintings. I have no idea in which pack the paintings came, but they're awesome. And in the lore of this build, they were painted by the owner. Besides from the fact that she's a vet, veterinarian. She has a business degree. She's the owner of this incredible establishment. She also is a great painter, because what else is there that she cannot do? Girl can do everything. Also, I wanted in this reception area a big skylight. That's one of the things I love in this game, is a good skylight. You know, if I could have a skylight in my apartment, I would. It looks amazing. I just can't. I have no words. But yeah, skylight. That's the point I wanted to make. There's a skylight. Anyway, we're getting to the end of this very first video, and my god, I have been talking a lot. We're just finishing off the hallway here. So as we are approaching the end of this video, I really want to know, first of all, if you made it till here, like if you're still watching, or if you've given up after 1 minute, which is cool too. I wouldn't be able to listen to my own voice for like half an hour either, so you know, I wouldn't blame you. But if you've made it till here, please let me know in the comments what you thought of it. I know my English isn't always that awesome. It's not my first language, so yeah, I'm not that great in it. Sometimes I'm looking for words, or I'm mispronouncing some things, just like there. But you know, I'm trying. So yeah, we're finishing off the waiting room, just with some cute chairs and whatnot. But this is the point in the build where I figured out that the waiting room is too big, especially for what it is. Like if this was a hospital or like something bigger, something substantial, it would be okay to have that much space. But we trimmed it down quite a bit. Here you can see we added a little room in the back, which is going to be sort of a laundry room, where I would imagine, you know, they would store some stuff, but also do the laundry of the scrubs and all the medical equipment that they need. They need to clean that stuff, of course. So yeah, that's going to be there. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, leave some feedback. That would be really nice. The last thing that we do is we clean up the seating here. It's a lot less seating, and I think it's enough. Especially because we're going to add like a little sit-down area on the other side of the reception desk with some couches. So there is enough seating in here for everyone who is waiting, or who might be here for other reasons. I have no idea what those are, but girl, you can sit down in this waiting room. So yeah, we're going to the end. I've got some screenshots, not a lot. Most of them will be in the video in the second part, where we see the finished product. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Follow, subscribe. I don't know what you have to say at the end of these videos. Like, comment, please comment. That's a lot. That would mean a lot to me. But yeah, here are some screenshots. I love this. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Go check me out on Instagram. And you know what? Hey guys, love you guys. See you in the next one. Bye.